Released in 2022, this unlicensed Ciri from Witcher 3 is a collaboration between Master Team and SWToys, the former of which had also released 2 unlicensed Geralts in the past. The marketing material also makes a reference to Zarael, which is Ciri's name in Elder speech meaning swallow. Pretty awesome. Starting with the head sculpt, this portrait's got everything you would expect when you think of Ciri. The bangs and the loose strands around the forehead are a little coarse. Otherwise, the hair sculpt's got that same quality as the previous Geralts. The uniquely subtle features on Ciri's face are all present, like her moderately gaunt cheeks with a clear scar on the left, and that razor-sharp chin and nose. Though in my humble opinion, I'd argue the likeness could be even stronger with a few tweaks to the paint job, mainly with the green in the eyes being less muted, and the lipsticks being applied a tad fuller. For the costume, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room that are Ciri's breasts. This isn't the case with the promo pics, but it looks like Ciri's blouse is about to burst wide open, all because the base body was made too busty on the final product. I think Master Team and SWToys were trying to keep the slit on her blouse slightly open like in the game. But instead of achieving this with tailoring, they just opted to increase the bust size. And as you can see, they went a bit overboard, which I thought was a little distracting. But once I managed to look away long enough, I did find there's a lot to like on this costume. There's a wired lining around the shirt collar, which makes it a breeze to put on the shoulders naturally. Other than the string tie in the middle being too big, the delicate shoulder straps and the lone silky stripe across the shirt are pretty on point. This Ciri comes packed with Vesemir's wolf medallion. It's unsurprisingly the same as the previous Geralts, so it looks intricate as ever. These 2 leather armbands are a bit rough, but they look the part just fine. There's also this little bandage that goes above the right armband. It's not exactly screen accurate, but I'll take it. And like with all previous Witcher releases, the gloves are completely sculpted, so there's no wrist articulation, but at least details like the collars, wrinkles, and cuffs are looking pretty good. Then we have this decorative silver belt that goes around this underbust leather corset. The turquoise gems on the belt are clearly just dabs of paint, and the stitching pattern on the corset is very pronounced. You might notice by now that the costume, while looking fantastic, is actually kind of rough on the details. But for an unlicensed product, this quality tracks with the somewhat reasonable MSRP. Next, we have this beautifully studded pair of leather pants. The naturally forming wrinkles around the knees are a nice touch, but the rivets here are also a bit too pronounced. And I'm being very delicate when handling this area as to not scrub off anything here by accident. Hopefully I'll never have to use that one spare rivet, which I did find among the accessories. Like the gloves, the boots are also one sculpted piece, meaning that the shape of the folded cuffs and that beautiful weathering pattern are all faithfully reproduced at the heavy price of ankle movements. And this of course leads us to articulations. Out of the box, the head sculpt sits rather low on the neck. All things considered, this actually looks okay, but I like to pull the head a little higher on the neck. It just looks a little more natural to me this way, plus it opens a little more room for articulations. This Ciri is built from a jointed body with a seamless torso, which enables a bit of movement to the beautifully defined neck and collar, along with an elbow that can go almost a full bend. The range of motion on the shoulders is also spectacular. The wrist pegs are just kinda there, even if they're overshadowed by the sculpted gloves. Fortunately, they're strong enough to hold the sword, but easy enough to snap on and off the wrists, so I don't have to worry about the pegs getting stuck inside. The aforementioned super boobs don't get in the way of the torso either, and the same goes for these leather pants, as the knee and pelvis motion are surprisingly robust. I'm not sure if the following is only an issue for my copy, but the boots are stuck in an angle that's greater than 90 degrees, which sends Ciri falling backwards at all times. And once I got her standing straight in a neutral posture with a figure stand, Ciri's heels aren't even touching the ground. Please let me know in the comments if this is an issue for you as well. Anyways, the accessories are a lot of fun, even if they're pretty bare. Starting with this travel belt, the leather isn't as dark as it should be, but it otherwise has the proper tip, buckle, and length to get a knot through exactly like in the game. The front pouch is also made of leather, complete with these slightly exaggerated frills on the bottom. While I admire the effort, I'd prefer if they did it like the back pouch here. It's partly sculpted with a leather flap glued in, so tiny details like the stitching across the bottom could be accurately replicated. You can also strap Ciri's dagger here too, which brings us to the weapons. The sheath takes some effort to attach, but this plastic dagger's got it all. From the super sharp tip, to the funnel grip, to that beautifully decorated pommel. And Ciri's silver sword isn't too shabby either. The blade is made of metal, and it retains that game-accurate, flame-like shape with a piercing in the middle. Unlike both of Geralt's previous releases, the hilt is properly painted this time. Thank goodness. And the same could be said for the scabbard too. Speaking of which, the sword is mounted on Ciri's back by this leather strap, but when it's actually on there, the scabbard doesn't tilt nearly as steep, which is an unfortunate physical reality. Besides the usual poses, there's an additional glove option for holding the absolute delight, that is this hand of 5 Gwent cards. They're each made of cardboard paper, and they all bear the Nilfgaardian card back, regardless of faction. The deck consists of only the most vital characters, such as Geralt, Ciri herself, Yennefer, Triss, and Eredin. I love these cards, and personally, seeing Ciri hold these kinda evens out some of the complaints that I had for this release. And finally, for the size comparison, of course we'll be starting with the 2 previous Geralts by Master Team, the Manticore Armor version and the Keir Morhen Armor version. According to the Witcher Wiki, Ciri is about 5'9", and if you can get this figure to stand at all, you'll find that this Ciri is only about 11 inches here, making her half an inch too short for the scale. Still though, it's so hyped to finally get this father and daughter duo together. Next, we have a team of all-girl superstars from the collaborators of this release, starting with Lara Croft 3.0 and Rebecca Chambers by SWToys, followed by Ellie and Jill Valentine by Master Team. Having these in hand, I'm starting to suspect that Ciri's head sculpt is provided by Master Team in this collab, while SWToys supplied the figure body and costume, but this is just speculations on my part. So there you have it, the 1/6 scale Princess Cirilla by Master Team and SWToys. For those who are really specific about screen accuracy, or those who are jonesing for some really dynamic poses, this figure leaves a lot to be desired. But for those who just want a representation of Ciri, this release is much more than you could bargain for at its MSRP. It's a little rough around the edges, sure, but this Ciri is still a lot of fun to display alongside Geralt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.